So with this assignment, we're actually reviewing some things that we've done in the past. All right, because we've been working a lot with ideas of graphs, and we're gonna just get our hands on it and do some graphing again to refresh our brains, and then really, now that we understand more about slope, kind of incorporate that into what we're doing. So if I read the instructions, that's always the first step. Make sure to read all the instructions. I want to find the output for each given input. Then I'm going to plot the coordinate pairs x, y, and connect them. Okay? All of these rules, each of these tables, these equations, should give you lines. You should have 3 different lines when you finish this first side. So that's what you're aiming for. If you end up plotting a bunch of points and they don't line up, then you've done something wrong. So just to refresh your brain, in the past, we have been given a rule, okay, like y equals 2x. We've gone to a table and we've been given inputs, and we've had to use the rule to find the outputs. That's all we're doing right now, so this is kind of a refresher. And I'm going to start with number 2 because it's a little more interesting than number 1. So if my rule is y equals 2x, then what I want to know is, well, what is y if x is 0? Well, if x is 0, as like in this first point, then y is going to be 0 as well. So that's my first output. Now I'm going to erase that so I have room for the next one. Now if my input is 3, well, y equals 2 times whatever that input is, and if it's 3, then y, my output, equals 6. So here we go. Sorry, it's hard to write in that tiny box. So that's my next output. And then my final, I'll actually leave that y there. I can use that again. So if my last input is -3, well, 2 times -3 is a -6. So my last output would be -6. So I've found the output for the given input. The next thing I need to do is plot the coordinate pairs. So my coordinate pairs, I have this coordinate pair, I have this coordinate pair, and I have this coordinate pair. So my first coordinate, 0, 0, that's right in the middle there at the origin. My next pair is 3, 6. So I'm going to go over 3 and up 6, and I'm going to put my other point right there. Sorry, it's hard to be precise on this screen, but there's the idea. And now my last point is -3, -6. So I want to trace, I want to go over, oops, wrong tool. I want to go over -3 and go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And my last point is going to go right there. And if you notice, if you plot all the points correctly, if you do your calculations correctly and put them in the right place, you should be able to sketch, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can borrow some of my rulers also, but you should be able to sketch what mostly looks like a line. If you get a triangle, something went wrong. Okay, if you get any kind of angle or any kind of line that breaks and turns or curves, then something went wrong. But that's the idea. Once you get all your 3 lines on the graph, then you're going to answer some of the questions, below. You're going to do the exercises on the back, and then you're just going to start to make connections between what's going on in the equation and things happening in the graph. That's the big idea here, is making connections between the equations and the graphs. And we do have a little bit of experience with this. It's just been a little while. Okay, Please replay this if you need to, or ask a neighbor, and good luck.